We begin tonight by focusing on a structure whose very existence is a meditation on geometry, light, and silence. The Dome of the Rock, Qubat al-Sakra, in Jerusalem. It sits upon the Haram al-Sharif, or the Temple Mount, not merely as a building, but as the golden, radiant crown of one of the most sacred spots on earth. This is a place where history, theology, and profound mystery converge. Before we dive into the layers of lore, we must first allow the visual presence of the dome to settle over us. Imagine the sunlight catching the perfect, flawless curve of the gold-leafed dome, reflecting the eternal blue of the sky back toward the heavens. The structure is not a simple rectangle or basilica. It is a complex, deliberate octagon, a form that speaks of transition and synthesis. The 8 sides represent the earthly realm, transitioning inward, layer by layer, toward the ultimate perfection of the central circle, the pure, divine form embodied by the dome itself. This transition is slow, deliberate, and entirely silent. The Dome of the Rock, completed in the late 7th century, stands not as a grand mosque, that is the nearby Al-Aqsa, but as a shrine, a protective canopy built to house and honor the most sacred object within its walls, the foundation stone. Its entire existence is subservient to the single, rough piece of bedrock at its heart. The atmosphere here is one of overwhelming spiritual density. Every tile, every inscription, every carved arch is a testament to the belief that this spot is fundamentally different from the rest of the world. It is a threshold. The silence that pervades the area is not emptiness, but a deep, resonant stillness. It is the sound of thousands of years of prayer, prophecy, and revelation contained within the stone. When the wind moves softly through the complex, it is carrying the whispers of prophets, patriarchs, and angels. We must prepare ourselves to listen not to the noise of historical conflict, but to the spiritual hum of the sacred bedrock. This entire structure, with its luminous gold and its perfect geometry, is merely a veil, a beautiful, intentional distraction meant to draw your eye upward, while its deepest, most profound mystery lies below the surface. Our journey begins by contemplating the object that justifies all this beauty, the foundation stone itself. Its roughness, its uncut nature, is a deliberate contrast to the perfect symmetry of the architecture that surrounds it. This contrast is the key to understanding the dome's sacred role. 2. The uncut heart, the foundation stone. At the very center of the magnificent golden shrine rests the object of ultimate sanctity, the foundation stone, a sakra. To look upon it is to look upon the physical, uncut heart of the structure, a rough, exposed piece of natural bedrock. Unlike the polished mosaics, the carved marble, and the perfect curvature of the dome, the stone is raw, unshaped, and unadorned. It is this very lack of human refinement that signifies its profound spiritual importance. Man has built around it, but dared not build upon it, nor shape it. It is a piece of primordial matter placed by God, not by man. The stone rises approximately 4 to 6 feet above the surrounding floor, protected by an ornate circular wooden screen. This screen acts as the final barrier, separating the most sacred substance from the mortal footsteps that surround it. The sheer verticality of the stone, its emergence from the ground, is crucial. It emphasizes its identity as a point of ascent and connection. Imagine running your hand in your mind's eye across its rough, cool surface. Feel the unyielding geological texture. This is the oldest, most foundational material in this entire sacred space. It has witnessed the very beginning of creation, the establishment of covenants, and the ascent of prophets. The uncut nature of Asakra is interpreted across different traditions as symbolic of originality and immutability. It cannot be moved, shaped, or altered by human will. It is fixed, permanent, and therefore an absolute point of reference in a constantly changing world. The deep, steady tone of the narration now dwells on the stone's silent, unyielding presence. It is the highest point on the Temple Mount, both physically and spiritually. Everything flows outward from this spot, and everything returns to it. The light inside the dome is carefully managed to fall upon the stone, highlighting its geological reality while simultaneously venerating its spiritual one. The stone is not merely a relic, it is a geological witness to the most profound events in Abrahamic faith. Its very roughness is a reminder that divine truth is not always packaged in human-made perfection, but often in the raw, powerful reality of the earth itself. The foundation stone is thus the core anchor of the entire world, a concept that leads us immediately to the mythological lore of its creation.
Across the ancient traditions, Jewish, Christian, and Islamic, the foundation stone is held to be the nexus of creation, the axis mundi, or the world's navel, al-Qura. This profound lore posits that the stone was the first piece of solid earth created by God. Imagine the universe as a vast, watery void. When God created the earth, this single rough piece of bedrock was the initial point of emergence, the first particle of land to rise above the primordial waters. From this unshaped stone, the rest of the world slowly expanded, radiating outward like ripples in a pond, until the continents and mountains were fully formed. The stone is therefore the geological source of all life and all land. Its roots are seen as piercing the deep, foundational layers of the earth, linking the mortal world directly to the spiritual underworld and the celestial heavens. It is the absolute center of gravity, physically and spiritually. This belief system dictates that the foundation stone is the point of ultimate stability. It cannot be shaken, moved, or destroyed, because it is the fundamental anchor holding the entire terrestrial world in place. All subsequent temples and shrines built upon this spot, from the ancient temples of Solomon and Herod to the Dome of the Rock, were attempting to honor and protect this essential divine stability. The deep, sustained tone of the narration now reflects the powerful, slow process of creation emanating from this point. The stone is not static, it is radiant. It possesses the residual energy of the moment when God spoke the world into existence. This lore explains why the entire sanctuary is considered the center of the universe. It is not merely a sacred location, it is the original location of all matter. Any prayer offered here, any ritual performed, is amplified by the fact that it occurs at the point of origin, the world's navel, ensuring its immediate passage to the celestial throne of God. The stone is thus the cosmic umbilical cord, tying the living world to its divine source. It is this lore of geological and spiritual centrality that leads us directly to the profound mystery of the cavern beneath it, the place where the soul's journey both begins and ends.
If the foundation stone is the highest point of ascent and the world's navel, then the subterranean chamber directly beneath it is the deepest point of descent, the legendary Well of Souls, Bir al-Arwa. This is the great unobservable mystery of the Dome of the Rock. While the stone itself is visible and protected, the Well of Souls is a cavern of pure lore, a space whose true spiritual function is infinitely greater than its physical reality. The belief, held across various Islamic traditions and localized Jerusalem folklore, is that the Well of Souls is not a mere underground chamber, but a spiritual reservoir and a gateway to the unseen world. It is the gathering place for the spirits of all humanity, where they await the final trumpet of Judgment Day. Imagine the sound of this well, not the splash of water, but the muffled chorus of millions of voices, the silent, continuous drone of every soul that has ever lived or will ever live, collected in the spiritual void beneath the stone. The stone itself, therefore, acts as the seal upon this immense, powerful congregation of the departed. The Well of Souls is the beginning of the underworld, Barzakh, the intermediate spiritual realm where the dead reside until resurrection. To stand above the foundation stone is therefore to stand directly above the entire spiritual mass of humanity. The deep, mysterious tone of the narration now plunges into the subterranean void. The first descent refers to the belief that the first soul of man descended through this point, and the final soul will be recalled from it. It is the starting point and the terminus of the spiritual cycle of life and death. The physical cave beneath the stone, which visitors can enter, is a small actual chamber. But the Well of Souls is limitless, a concept that extends far deeper than the physical cavern, linking this spot to the geological roots of the earth and the final spiritual reckoning. The legend of the Well of Souls gives the Dome of the Rock a powerful dualistic identity, a golden structure pointing to the heavens, but also a spiritual marker guarding the threshold to the most profound of human mysteries, the silent gathering place of the dead.
To fully appreciate the mythology contained within the Dome of the Rock, we must understand the historical and architectural intention of the man who built it. The Umayyad Caliph Abd al-Malik ibn Marwan reigned 685 to 705 CE. His vision transformed a sacred but exposed piece of bedrock into a radiant global symbol. The Dome of the Rock was completed in 691 to 692 CE, making it one of the oldest surviving works of Islamic architecture. Its purpose, according to most historians, was both theological and political, to create a structure of unrivaled spiritual and architectural magnificence to house the sacred foundation stone. The golden crown is the most recognizable feature of Abd al-Malik's vision. The gold covering the dome was not merely decorative, it was a powerful statement of eternal majesty and divine authority. Gold, being resistant to tarnish and decay, symbolized the incorruptible, permanent nature of the divine message being protected beneath it. Imagine the immense resources and ambition required to clad a dome of that size in gold leaf in the 7th century. It was a clear, unmissable declaration of the power and spiritual legitimacy of the new Islamic Caliphate, projecting its authority across a landscape long dominated by Byzantine Christian architecture. The meticulous detail of the structure, the octagonal plan, the intricate tiling, the extensive Kufic calligraphy containing the earliest known verses of the Quran, was all designed to create an environment of overwhelming, deliberate awe and reverence for the foundation stone. The deep, powerful tone of the narration now reflects the caliph's ambition. Abd al-Malik did not just build a shrine, he created a theological argument in stone and gold. He ensured that anyone approaching the Dome of the Rock would immediately understand that they were approaching a place of supreme sanctity, worthy of a crown of pure light. The Umayyad vision was to anchor the new empire's religious authority at this nexus of creation, ensuring that the Dome of the Rock would be permanently identified as the ultimate protector of the foundation stone and the eternal mysteries, including the Well of Souls hidden beneath it. The gold is the visible promise of the invisible divine protection.
The foundational Islamic lore that sanctifies the foundation stone is the narrative of the night journey, Isra, and ascent, Miraj, of the Prophet Muhammad. This single event binds the stone permanently to the heavens and to the eternal chain of prophecy. The lore states that during a single night, the Prophet was carried miraculously from the sacred mosque in Mecca to the farthest mosque in Jerusalem, interpreted as the Temple Mount, where the Dome of the Rock now stands, on the celestial steed Burak, a winged creature of white light. The foundation stone is believed to be the exact point where Burak landed and was tethered before the Prophet began his ascent, Miraj, through the 7 heavens to meet with God. This act transformed the stone from merely a place of ancient temple history into the launch point of the final revelation. Imagine the stone as the ultimate cosmic runway. It is the last point of physical contact between the prophet and the earth before his spirit traveled beyond mortal dimensions. This moment permanently sanctified the stone as the threshold between the visible and the invisible realms. The lore provides a divine continuity. The stone was the altar of the prophets of Judaism, Abraham, David, Solomon, and now it is the launching pad of the final prophet of Islam. This continuity reinforces its role as the nexus of creation. The deep, soaring tone of the narration now reflects the movement of the Burak, swift, silent, and transcendent. The structure of the dome itself, rising upward in a perfect circle toward the gold, physically mirrors the vertical trajectory of the prophet's spiritual journey. The ascension lore ensures that the foundation stone is not static. It is a place of dynamic, vertical spiritual energy, forever imbued with the memory of the prophet's final physical presence before his encounter with the divine. This event is what gives the Dome of the Rock its unparalleled, unshakable sanctity in the Islamic world.
The lore surrounding the Well of Souls, Bir al-Arwah, delves into profound eschatological concepts, beliefs about the end times and the afterlife. The central mystery is the persistent, evocative legend of the voices below. The sound of the souls of the dead gathered within the cavern, awaiting the final judgment. The Well of Souls in this mythology is the intermediate spiritual realm, Barzakh, condensed into a single physical location beneath the foundation stone. It is the immense waiting room of the dead, where every soul, righteous and wicked, is housed until the final trumpet signals the resurrection. Imagine the impossible sound, millions upon millions of silent voices, creating a low, muffled, subterranean hum that can never be truly heard by the mortal ear, but can be felt by the spirit. The stone acts as the immense, sacred lid on this spiritual reservoir, muffling the voices of the spirits contained within. The lore suggests that the voices are not necessarily crying out in pain, but are simply residing in a state of perpetual anticipation, a silent, vast congregation of human memory and essence. This concentrated mass of spiritual energy makes the area around the stone incredibly potent. The deep, sustained tone of the narration now echoes this powerful, silent drone. The lore is a constant, subtle reminder of the ultimate destiny that awaits all who stand above the stone. The physical sanctuary above is temporary. The spiritual reservoir below is eternal. The mystery deepens when we consider the belief that the souls of the righteous are housed comfortably in the well, sometimes even engaging in quiet conversation, while the souls of the wicked
are housed in more constricted, uncomfortable proximity. The stone, thus, is not just an anchor of creation, it is a marker of judgment, separating the light above from the profound spiritual weight below. The voices below transforms the dome of the rock into a historical shrine, into a living spiritual mechanism, a permanent physical link to the collective unconscious of humanity, guarded by the silent power of the foundation stone.
The sanctity of the foundation stone is not singular. It is a layered reverence built over millennia, incorporating the history of the earliest Abrahamic traditions. The stone is held by Jewish tradition to be the Moriah stone, the bedrock upon which the Holy of Holies of the first temple, built by King Solomon, and the second temple, rebuilt by Herod, stood. The lore posits that the stone is the exact location where Abraham prepared to sacrifice his son Isaac, or Ishmael, depending on the tradition, marking it as the site of the original covenant and the ultimate test of faith. This event anchors the stone to the beginning of monotheism and the founding lineage of the Abrahamic faiths. When King Solomon built the first temple, this rough, unyielding stone was integrated into the structure. It was the highest, most sacred point of the temple, located within the Holy of Holies, the sanctuary where the Ark of the Covenant was placed, and where the presence of God, Shekinah, was believed to reside. Imagine the stone's spiritual legacy. It was the physical grounding point for the greatest structure of the ancient world. Its permanence and geological reality were essential for housing the divine artifact. The deep, ancient tone of the narration now reflects the weight of this accumulated history. The dome of the rock in this context is seen as the third and final layer of protection over this eternally sacred bedrock, acknowledging and venerating the spiritual groundwork laid by the prophets and kings who came before. The temple's legacy ensures that the foundation stone carries the memory of the most profound moments of Jewish history, the central acts of worship, sacrifice, and revelation. The stone itself is the physical, continuous link between the ancient covenants and the final revelations, making it a place of shared, intense spiritual density across all three Abrahamic faiths.
The spiritual significance of the foundation stone is often reinforced by mythology concerning physical marks left upon its surface, serving as tangible, visible proof of divine or prophetic interaction. The most prominent of these is the alleged footprint of the prophet. The lore, stemming from the account of the Mirage, Ascension, section Vix, claims that as the prophet Muhammad ascended to the heavens on the steed Buraq, the stone rose with him, eager to follow its master. An angel of God, or the archangel Gabriel, had to physically hold the stone down to prevent it from rising into the sky. The footprint of the prophet is believed to be the impression left by the prophet's foot, or the hoof of Buraq, at the exact moment of ascent, marking the intensity
of the spiritual force involved. These marks are visible to visitors who enter the inner sanctum. Imagine the mythological scene, the moment of extreme spiritual tension, where the stone, the nexus of creation, was so drawn to the presence of the divine that it attempted to pull itself away from the earth, leaving behind a permanent geological signature of that transcendent event. The marks, whether they are genuine physical impressions or natural features of the rock, serve a crucial devotional function. They transform the abstract concept of the mirage into a tangible, touchable reality. The stone is not just a place where something happened. It is a place that was affected by the divine event, bearing the scars of that powerful spiritual transaction. The deep, steady tone of the narration now dwells on the silent marks of contact. The footprint of the prophet is the stone's final, silent testimony to its sacred function, a permanent, geological receipt, proving its direct, active involvement in the chain of divine revelation.
Beneath the foundation stone lies the physical reality that fuels the mythology of the Well of Souls, Bir al-Ruh, a natural subterranean cave or grotto. This hidden chamber is the tangible space where the lore of the underworld takes root. The cave, accessible via steps, is a small natural chamber known as the Cave of the Spirits. It is partially lined and contains a small marble slab over a hollow, creating an echo and a strong acoustic effect, a feature that may have inspired the lore of the well. The geometry of the space is crucial. The stone above forms the ceiling of the cave, physically and symbolically, sealing the void below. The rough, unfinished nature of the ceiling, the underside of the foundation stone, contrasts sharply with the tiled perfection of the dome above it. The acoustics of the cave are, perhaps, the most compelling physical feature. Due to its size and structure, any sound made within the chamber is amplified and echoes strongly, creating a powerful resonant effect. This natural phenomenon reinforces the mythological idea that the space is not empty, but is filled with sound, the muffled, resonant voices of the souls awaiting judgment. Imagine standing in the small, dim grotto. Any whisper, any prayer is immediately amplified and returns to you. This strong acoustic feedback gives the spiritual sense of being in an enormous, echoing chamber, a well of voices, even though the space is physically small. The deep, resonant tone of the narration now utilizes this acoustic imagery. The hidden cavern serves as the earthly anchor for the vast spiritual concept of the barzakh, intermediate realm. Its physical reality provides a necessary, tangible link for pilgrims who wish to connect with the deep, subterranean mysteries of the sacred site.
The cave is the physical threshold. Visitors can approach the void, but the true well of souls is a spiritual infinity that begins where the physical chamber ends, plunging deep into the geological and spiritual roots of the earth.
Among the most widespread and visually evocative pieces of folklore surrounding the foundation stone is the myth of the hanging stone. The belief that the bedrock is supernaturally suspended in mid-air, floating just above the cavern floor, held in place by divine power. This myth stems directly from the Mirage lore, section 6, where the stone attempted to rise to the heavens with the Prophet Muhammad. The legend holds that when the angel intervened, the stone was commanded to stop, but it did not fully return to the ground. It was left supernaturally suspended, permanently elevated as a testament to its willingness to follow the divine. Imagine the power of this image, the nexus of creation, the anchor of the entire world, is simultaneously defying gravity. It is a perfect spiritual paradox. The rock that grounds the earth is also partially released from the earth's physical laws. The myth is visually powerful because it symbolizes the stone's unique status. It is too sacred to be entirely of the mortal world, yet it remains anchored enough to serve as the axis mundi. The partial suspension represents the permanent spiritual charge imparted by the ascension. The deep, soft tone of the narration now floats slightly, reflecting the mythological defiance of gravity. The entire structure of the dome is, in a spiritual sense, built around a miracle of levitation. While the myth is not supported by physical evidence, the stone is clearly attached to the bedrock. The hanging stone lore endures because it provides a necessary spiritual explanation for the stone's sanctity. It is a structure that is both geologically real and divinely active, proving that the laws of man and nature yield to the power of the divine at this sacred threshold. The myth provides the ultimate evidence that the foundation stone is perpetually ready for its next encounter with the heavens. The lore surrounding the sanctity of the foundation stone and the well of souls necessitates the existence of powerful celestial protectors. Across the traditions, this area is believed to be guarded by angelic guardians, beings tasked with maintaining the sacred purity, separation, and order of this pivotal location. In Islamic lore, the foundation stone is closely associated with the throne of the Lord, Al-Arsh, the ultimate seat of divine power. The stone is often seen as the terrestrial counterpart to the throne, with its sanctity maintained by specific angels. The lore posits that the angels are not merely guards, but active participants in the spiritual life of the site. They are responsible for maintaining purity, ensuring no chaotic or profane spiritual forces enter the well of souls or contaminate the sanctity of the stone.
controlling the ascent, ensuring that only sanctioned events like the mirage result in a vertical connection between the stone and the heavens. Muffling the voices, the angels are sometimes said to be the forces that keep the overwhelming resonance of the well of souls from spilling out into the mortal world, maintaining the necessary silence. Imagine the immense spiritual presence, an entire host of silent, vigilant angels constantly surrounding the ornate screen that protects the stone, their presence invisible but intensely felt by the spiritually sensitive. The deep, sustained tone of the narration now invokes this silent, immense spiritual presence. The dome of the rock is not just protected by gold and human guards, it is protected by the immutable order of the heavens. The angelic guardians are crucial to the lore because they exclaim the durability and permanence of the sanctity. They are the active agents of the mandate of heaven on earth, ensuring that the nexus of creation remains a permanent, pure anchor for the entire world. Their presence reinforces the idea that the stone is more than just a relic, it is a divinely administered command center.
While the Dome of the Rock is the defining masterpiece of early Islamic architecture, its unique design, the octagonal plan, and the central dome is deeply rooted in the Byzantine architectural tradition that preceded it in the region. Understanding this ancestry is key to appreciating the caliph's innovative intent. The Umayyad builders were heavily influenced by the pre-existing Christian shrines of Jerusalem, most notably the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. This church, also a centrally planned structure, featured a rotunda built over the central tomb, the aedicule. The octagonal design of the Dome of the Rock can be seen as a deliberate structural and theological response to the Byzantine architectural tradition that preceded it in the region. The 8-sided outer wall acts as a sophisticated geometric bridge, transitioning the earthly square of the surrounding plaza into the divine circle of the inner dome. This form was the regional signifier of a martyrium or sacred shrine. Imagine the caliph's intention: to build a structure that was architecturally familiar as a sacred place, yet spiritually superior in its ornamentation and, most importantly, in its central focus. The Byzantines focused on the tomb of Christ. Abd al-Malik focused on the foundation stone, the ultimate, eternal symbol of creation and divine ascent. The deep analytical tone of the narration now explores the layers of influence. The dome's design represents a spiritual and architectural conquest. The caliph took the most revered regional architectural language and recentered it, placing the Islamic message of pure monotheism and the finality of the Prophet's journey at its core. The Byzantine trace is the physical testament to the dome's role as the architectural synthesizer of the region. It is a familiar form housing a unique, revolutionary theological claim, using the language of stone and geometry to assert the permanence and supremacy of the foundation stone as the ultimate sacred site. The beauty of the dome of the rock is often found in its exterior gold, but its deepest spiritual power is contained within its interior, a space defined by shimmering, swirling mosaics and complex geometry. The interior acts as a veil that slowly prepares the eye and the spirit for the rough, unadorned truth of the central stone. The interior surfaces, the walls, the arches, the inner side of the dome, are covered in elaborate, brightly colored Byzantine-style glass mosaics. These mosaics do not depict human or animal forms, adhering to Islamic iconism, but instead depict stylized vegetation, jewels, and crowns. Imagine the effect of standing beneath the dome. The light, channeled through the high windows, catches the thousands of tiny glass tesserae, creating a constant, shimmering, non-static light. The entire structure appears to be vibrating with light and color, emphasizing the sense of being in a sacred, otherworldly space. The geometry is deliberate. Concentric rings of columns and arches draw the eye and the spirit inexorably inward. The path is slow, deliberate, and cyclical, forcing the pilgrim to walk several circuits before arriving at the stone itself. The veil is the metaphorical purpose of these mosaics. They are the beautiful, dense ornamentation that surrounds the raw truth of the stone. The glittering images of eternal crowns and jewels are meant to evoke the gardens of paradise and the majesty of the heavens, the realm the prophet entered after ascending from the stone. The deep, slightly hypnotic tone of the narration now mirrors the effect of the light filtering through the mosaics. The dome is a meditation chamber that uses light and geometry to disorient the mortal senses, allowing the spirit to focus entirely on the immense, unmoving reality of the foundation stone at its heart. The mosaics and geometry transform the inner space into a dynamic, spiritualized mirror of the universe, with the raw, silent stone acting as the still, powerful center of the entire celestial experience.
The mystery of the subterranean well of souls, Bir al-Arwah, is often accompanied by the folklore of its guardian, the well's keeper, a spiritual, or in some local narratives, a human entity or bloodline tasked with maintaining the safety and secrecy of the underworld threshold. In spiritual lore, the keeper is often depicted as an invisible, ancient jinn or a minor angel tasked by the Almighty with guarding the entryway to the intermediate realm, Barzakh. Their purpose is to ensure that no living soul attempts to breach the threshold, and that the voices of the dead do not escape in an uncontrollable torrent. Imagine the responsibility. The keeper is the silent steward of the collective spiritual mass of humanity, ensuring the immense spiritual weight contained within the well is organized and peaceful while awaiting the final trumpet. In more localized human lore, the keeper is sometimes a secret order or a specific family lineage in Jerusalem, traditionally tasked with maintaining the physical integrity of the cave, ensuring the steps are solid, and monitoring the sensitive acoustics that hint at the voices below. This human connection anchors the profound spiritual mystery to a tangible, ongoing human responsibility. The deep, secretive tone of the narration now hints at this hidden vigilance. The well's keeper is a necessary figure of lore because the power contained within the well of souls is too immense, too profound to be left unattended. The keeper is the ultimate expression of vigilance and silent devotion. The lore surrounding the keeper provides a sense of continuity to the mystery. The foundation stone is static, but the spiritual energy beneath it is dynamic and powerful, requiring constant active protection. The keeper is the final, unseen barrier, ensuring the sanctity of the deepest mystery of the Dome of the Rock.
Returning our focus to the foundation stone, a profound piece of lore suggests that the bedrock still retains the residual sound of creation, the faint echoes of God's initial command to the universe. The belief is that when God commanded the world into existence, the stone, being the first point of emergence, nexus of creation, absorbed the purest, most powerful sonic vibration of that divine word. When the stone rose from the waters, it began to vibrate or speak with the eternal sound of God's will. A sound so powerful it would have destabilized the newly forming earth. The lore says that Angel Gabriel, or another angelic being, had to place his hand over the stone, commanding it to be silent. The stone obeyed, but it retained the faint residual sound, the whispers of creation, a vibration so subtle it is beyond mortal hearing. Yet it contributes to the profound spiritual density of the entire sanctuary. Imagine the stone as a gigantic, silenced musical instrument. Its silence is an act of divine obedience, but its spiritual core is still humming with the original, powerful note of existence. This subtle vibration is the stone's true, continuous song. The deep, sustained tone of the narration now lingers on the concept of this eternal, silent vibration. This lore explains the stone's immense, palpable spiritual power. It is not merely an old rock, it is a permanent sonic reservoir of the most sacred event in the history of the universe. The whispers of creation provide a spiritual explanation for the reverence across all faiths. Everyone standing near the stone is, in a profound, unobservable sense, standing within the resonance of God's first creative act. The stone's enduring silence is a testament to its singular power and its perfect, immediate obedience to the divine will.
As we reach the final stage of our meditation, we focus on the profound separation that defines the Dome of the Rock's deepest mystery, the boundary between the foundation stone, order, heaven, and the well of souls, void, underworld. The dome exists to emphasize and protect this crucial division. The stone is the visible, accessible, protected, and venerated half of the equation. It is the symbol of ascension, covenant, and origin, the point of contact with the celestial realm. It is the light, the geometry, and the gold made manifest. The void, the conceptual well of souls, is the unobservable, hidden, and mysterious half. It is the symbol of descent, awaiting, and finality, the gathering place of the dead. It is the deep, echoing silence beneath the physical surface. The entire architecture of the dome, from the octagonal veil to the golden crown, is an elaborate spiritual seal placed upon the threshold. It ensures that the divine light of the stone remains separate from the profound spiritual weight of the souls below. Imagine the immense spiritual pressure exerted at this boundary. It is the pressure between the ultimate light of the mirage and the ultimate darkness of the barzakh, the intermediate realm. The two forces meet at the uncut surface of the stone. The deep, dividing tone of the narration now enforces the magnitude of this separation. The two chambers are a permanent physical reminder of the dual nature of spiritual reality. The journey of the soul always involves both ascent and descent, both light and shadow, and the foundation stone is the central, unmoving pivot point between them. The sanctity of the dome is guaranteed by the fact that the stone holds the line. It protects the order above from the overwhelming chaos of the assembled souls below. The dome of the rock is, therefore, a permanent, massive testament to the necessity of spiritual separation and the enduring power of the dividing line. As we reach the final stage of our meditation, we focus on the profound separation that defines the dome of the rock's deepest mystery, the boundary between the foundation stone, order, heaven, and the well of souls, void, underworld. The dome exists to emphasize and protect this crucial division. The stone is the visible, accessible, protected, and venerated half of the equation. It is the symbol of ascension, covenant, and origin, the point of contact with the celestial realm. It is the light, the geometry, and the gold made manifest. The void, the conceptual well of souls, is the unobservable, hidden, and mysterious half. It is the symbol of descent, awaiting, and finality, the gathering place of the dead. It is the deep, echoing silence beneath the physical surface. The entire architecture of the dome, from the octagonal veil to the golden crown, is an elaborate spiritual seal placed upon the threshold. It ensures that the divine light of the stone remains separate from the profound spiritual weight of the souls below. Imagine the immense spiritual pressure exerted at this boundary. It is the pressure between the ultimate light of the mirage and the ultimate darkness of the barzakh, the intermediate realm. The two forces meet at the uncut surface of the stone. The deep, dividing tone of the narration now enforces the magnitude of this separation. The two chambers are a permanent physical reminder of the dual nature of spiritual reality. The journey of the soul always involves both ascent and descent, both light and shadow,
and the foundation stone is the central, unmoving pivot point between them. The sanctity of the dome is guaranteed by the fact that the stone holds the line. It protects the order above from the overwhelming chaos of the assembled souls below. The dome of the rock is, therefore, a permanent, massive testament to the necessity of spiritual separation and the enduring power of the dividing line.